foundation. It has been, or it was, the foundation of the Western civilization. And I did mention to you that I was going to touch on this earlier. When the Reformation came about, how did it come about? Well, this is talking about Reformation. You know what date is for the Reformation? Anybody can give me a guess? Okay, I want to be precise. The month, the day of the month and the year. Anybody can have a guess. Okay, I'll ask you another question. When is Halloween celebrated? Okay, good. The Reformation is October 31st. Okay? On that night, October 31st, which North America doesn't know about it. Okay? We know about Halloween. Not picking on you. But we don't know about Reformation. So Luther pinned this 95 thesis to the door of a cathedral in Wittenberg, in Germany. 1517, 31st of October. Because November the 1st is All Saints' Day, which is a Catholic holiday all over the world. But in North America, I don't think it's celebrated. But in Latin America, everything stops on November 1st. Everybody goes, the Catholic people go to the cemetery to pray for, and to honor their dead and their masses. So all countries stop, literally, they stop. But we are, so there's this mixture of things. But on that day, because people would be going to church, he put the thesis there. But what we have to know that the theses are based on his reading of scriptures and rereading of scriptures, because the scriptures had been collapsed. The reading and the teaching, it was all in Latin, and it had so much philosophy and so much philosophy into the teaching that there was no more Bible. There was politics. People were building cathedrals like the cathedral that is there, St. Paul's and St. Peter's in the Vatican, that we all go and we want to see it. This treasure of Western civilization was being built. And the money was coming from you, like from believers. And the saying would go, when the coin hits the coffin, the soul is freed from the purgatory. Right? So that was song people would sing and sing and teach, literally put your money in the coffin, and you're putting for a mother who was a murderer or whatever. If you put so much, she'll be freed from purgatory for 100 years. If you put more, it's 200 years. So who's going to give more? That is history. That was happening. It's in the books. And so Luther, of course, stood against that, reading Romans, Galatians, and we should read some of his books. Recover some of those books from the 16th century. They are available. All his works are available in English. And read those books. He stood against, I'm going to say something here that's very difficult. But he stood against homosexuality in the church. You wouldn't believe this in the 16th century. Prostitution. Popes were having concubines, were having children. It was just, I don't even have the word in English to describe it. But that was the church in the 16th century. And so he recovered the Bible, translated the Bible into the German language, began this movement all over Europe. Then it was in Spanish, it was in Portuguese, it was in English. And a lot of the people involved in that were burned or hanged. You know Wycliffe's story, you know Jan Hus' stories. So there was this movement. The Bible was not available. It was a forbidden book. People were burned at the stake because they learned to pray Our Father in Heaven prayer. It was not allowed. And the church was what it was, a big prostitute. That's the word. The word is in the Bible. The word was used by Luther. A big prostitute. A harlot. That's what it was. This is what Revelation talks about the church. This is what Luther talked about the church. Biblical language. You go to the Old Testament, that's the language of the prophets. Talking about the people of Israel. Harlotry. Harlotry. So, we neglect the word. We put it aside. We lose sight of things. We lose our focus, our identity, our mission. And this is what's happening with our generation. We pay lip service to the Bible in our services, in our communities. The community school where my girls go, they went to grade 6 actually. I haven't seen the other schools, the more recent schools. As you enter the building, on your right, there is this beautiful wooden stand like this with glass and a Bible right there. But the school is extremely secular. I don't have to tell you how secular in Toronto, downtown Toronto. I was living on campus. You know about it. That's the school. The Bible is there. They knew my kids' religious challenges there, because I working with my kids and their assignments, talking to teachers. They do respect your beliefs. You've got to be very clear about them and where you stand. But it is a battle. To raise a child in the public education system, which I'm doing, it is a real battle. But I think I'm not too favorable of excluding the kids from the world either. I think we are sent into the world. And this is our mission. We are in the world, we are not in the world, and Christ prayed for our protection. When we read John 17, he prayed for us. I pray not only for these, but for those who believe. So we are under Christ's prayer. And we are in the world, and we are not of this world. We are aliens. We are citizens of another land, of another world. Even though we want to plant roots here, live as if we're here, we are not. We are odd. We are misfits in this world, in this society. And we have to understand that. And often we compromise our identity, our values, our morals, because everything is collapsing around us. So that's why, back to scriptures. Okay, I'm going to read Psalm 1, and then this is sort of how I like to tell you why I think it is so important for us to recover the place of scriptures in our lives, in our daily lives, in our worship, in our service, in our Sunday school. Sometimes our Sunday school is just fun. They want to have fun with the kids. No scriptures, no teaching, just fun. If youth program is not fun, they don't come. So we want them, but we want to help them have fun. But no Bible, no teaching. Movies, games, sports, no teaching, no solid. It's good. It's good that they are here at the church. They're not on the streets. They're not on video. They're at the church. So it's almost like this theology that the building itself, the liturgy, the instruments, this builds Christians. This, builds them up. It's a fallacy. Jeremiah, if you read Jeremiah prophesying before the fall of Jerusalem, he was against that. There was a theology there. A temple theology. Oh, we have the temple, we have the temple. We have the Torah, we have the Torah. Nothing bad will happen to us. We are safe. No, you are not. No, you are not. Everything will go. Not a stone will be upon a stone here. So the history repeats itself. In Israel, many times this happened in Israel. And it's happening in Western history too. It's happening again. And we are not paying attention to it. We are going down the drain. Our culture, our faith, our institutions are. Because we are compromising the truth for which we stand. Or we say we stand. Psalm 1 goes like this. Talks about blessedness, blessed life, blessedness, true blessedness. I'll show you what it is. We could read man or woman, child. I'm going to read man with the NIV. Person, everyone. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers.